She was just a maid until her voice healed the broken air. Some love stories begin in ballrooms, others begin in silence, with a mop, a song, and a broken heart. This is a deeply emotional story of Mara, an orphaned maid, and Julian, a crippled heir who had locked himself away from the world. What began as cruelty slowly turned into connection, healing, and love, strong enough to challenge class, pride, and fear. This story will remind you to never judge people by their pain, to believe in love that grows quietly, to choose happiness over pride. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe for more emotional love stories. Share this story with someone who needs hope today. Now listen, grab your popcorn, and let the story unfold. Her name was Mara. She did not remember her parents. She did not remember being held. Her earliest memory was the sound of a bell in the orphanage, calling children to wake, to eat, to sleep. Life taught her early that nothing would be given freely. So she learned to work. She scrubbed floors until her knees burned. She washed clothes until her fingers wrinkled. She cleaned not because she was weak, but because it was how she survived. And through it all, she sang, not loudly, not proudly, but softly, because singing reminded her that she still had a heart. When Mara turned 19, she was hired as a maid in a large estate owned by Mrs. Eleanor Ravenscroft. Mrs. Ravenscroft was elegant, controlled, and deeply respected in society. But she was also tired, because her only son, Julian Ravenscroft, had not been the same since the accident. Once vibrant, once ambitious, once admired. Now, confined to a wheelchair, locked in his room, refusing visitors, refusing joy.
He has become cruel, Eleanor warned Mara on her first day. Do your duties. Do not provoke him.
Mara nodded. She was used to warnings. The first time Mara entered Julian's room, he did not look at her.
"Who are you?" he asked coldly.
My name is Mara, sir. I'm here to clean.
"I didn't ask for you," Julian snapped. "Leave."
She bowed her head.
As you wish.
As she turned to go, she hummed unconsciously. Julian stiffened.
"Stop that."
I'm sorry, she whispered.
But the sound stayed with him long after she left. Days passed. Each time Mara cleaned near Julian's room, his voice followed her.
"Why do you walk so quietly? Are you afraid of me? Do you enjoy pitying me?"
One day, she answered, I don't pity you, sir.
He turned, surprised. Then what do you feel? She hesitated.
I feel that you are lonely.
The room went silent. Get out, he said softly. She left, but her words stayed. One rainy afternoon, Mara believed Julian was asleep. She sang while mopping the hallway, this time louder. Julian wheeled himself closer to the door. What is that song? He asked. She jumped.
It's nothing, sir. In the orphanage, she said, singing was the only thing that made me feel chosen.
Julian laughed bitterly. At least someone wanted your voice. I am useless.
You are alive, Mara replied. That is not useless.
He stared at her. No one had spoken to him like that before. Mrs. Ravenscroft noticed the change. Julian laughed more, requested meals outside his room, allowed sunlight in.
Who is responsible for this? She asked.
The maid, a servant replied. Eleanor frowned. One evening, Julian asked quietly, Mara, do you ever wish for more? She smiled sadly.
I learned not to wish too loudly.
He reached out, hesitated, then held her hand. You make me feel human again. Her heart trembled. By now, Mara no longer cleaned Julian's room in silence. She cleaned while he watched. Sometimes he pretended to read. Sometimes he simply followed her movements with his eyes. One evening, Julian broke the silence. "Julian, do you ever get tired of singing the same songs?"
Mara smiling softly. They sound different depending on who is listening.
He looked at her then. Really looked. "And what do you hear when you sing?" She paused, cloth still in her hand.
I hear myself breathing. That means I'm still here.
Julian swallowed. He wanted to say something. He didn't. Another night. Rain tapping against the windows. Julian stared at his hands. "Mara, has anyone ever waited for you?" She looked confused.
Waited?
"Yes, as if your presence alone was something they looked forward to." She thought carefully.
No one has ever waited for me. I've always been the one arriving quietly.
He nodded slowly. I think I wait for you." Silence. Mara's heart raced. But before she could speak, he looked away. "That was foolish. Forget I said anything." She didn't forget. Neither did you, the viewer. Mrs. Ravenscroft stood at the top of the stairs, watching. Julian laughed, a sound she hadn't heard in years. Later that evening, she entered his room.
You were smiling today.
Julian stiffened. Was I?
Yes, you even asked for the windows to be opened. She sat beside him. You're improving. You're lighter. It excites me.
He hesitated. It's easier to breathe now.
She smiled warmly. Whatever is helping. I'm grateful. Her eyes flicked briefly to the doorway where Mara had stood earlier, but she dismissed the thought. A maid could never matter that way, she assumed.
Later that week, Julian was irritable. Mara noticed immediately. You're angry today? She asked. I'm frustrated. He said, with what? Mara asked, with wanting things I shouldn't. Julian replied. She froze. Like what? Mara asked. He opened his mouth, closed it. Forget it. She stepped closer. Sometimes saying it takes the weight away. Mara said. He laughed bitterly. Some weights can't be lifted. Their eyes met. The room felt smaller that night. Mara sang a new song. Softer. Slower. Julian closed his eyes. When she finished, he whispered, Stay. She sat beside him. When you sing, I don't feel broken. She reached for his hand instinctively, then pulled back. I don't want to be something you depend on because you're hurting. Mara sighed. He looked at her intensely. You're not my crutch. You're my courage. He almost said it then. I love you, but fear won. Mrs. Ravenscroft called Julian to the sitting room. I've noticed how close you are to the maid. Eleanor said Julian's heart raced. Mara. She waved her hand dismissively. She's kind. I understand why you enjoy her company. Eleanor continued. She leaned closer. But she is not permanent. Eleanor blurted. Relief washed over Julian, and guilt followed. She's helped me, and I'm thankful, but she knows her place. Eleanor said Julian said nothing. That night he couldn't sleep. The next day, Julian asked Mara to sit. His hands trembled. Mara, if someone loved you, would you believe them? Her breath caught. Love is not something people like me expect, Mara sighed. Why? Because love usually chooses people who already have everything, Mara replied. His voice cracked. What if love chooses someone who gave it meaning? She looked away. He lost his courage again. Mrs. Ravenscroft summoned Mara. You are a servant, she said calmly. My son is an heir. I know, Mara replied. You must leave. Later that night, Mara packed a small bag. She stood in the hallway, listening to Julian breathe through the door. Some loves are felt, but never spoken, Mara whispered. She was leaving to protect him and herself. Julian saw her leaving and shouted, Don't go. She turned. You don't need me anymore, she said. I do. He wheeled closer, voice shaking. Julian, I tried to say it 100 times. I was afraid. Afraid I wasn't worthy. Afraid you'd leave. He took a breath. I love you. Silence. Then tears. When Eleanor heard, she confronted him. You would choose a maid? Julian looked at her calmly. Would you rather have a gloomy son or a happy one? Eleanor froze. She had no answer, only truth. Julian spoke firmly. She gave me life when I had none. If love is beneath our class, then our class is empty. Mara did not expect acceptance, but one morning, Eleanor handed her a ring. Love does not ask permission, she said. Take care of my son. They were married quietly. No grand applause, just love. And sometimes that is enough. Love heals. Kindness transforms. And no one is too broken to be loved. Do not forget to drop a comment, subscribe, like.